By including light, touch, proximity, and other sensors into the smartphone, Paul Jobs' innovation had an important influence on contemporary technology. Okay, so like any question, remember, even in reading, start by identifying the subject. Right over here, this is a prepositional phrase modifying Stephen Jobs. Or is it Jobs or is it innovation? That's what you should think about, right? So this error, very, very common on the improving sentence section, usually has to change to a person, right? Whatever this is modifying. Except, look over here. The subject over here is innovation, not a person, right? So, I know you're thinking, oh, Steve Jobs integrated all this stuff, right? And which had an impact on modern technology, right? But this actually says innovation, right? By including light, touch, proximity sensors, innovation had an important influence, right? Which is wrong. You need a person over here. Okay, so A is wrong. Remember, A on the improvement sentences is the same as the original sentence, but on the paragraph editing, A is not the same, right? So a lot of kids actually get tricked. In paragraph editing, I'll discuss this later. A is not the same as A, or actually, the original sentence is not the same as A in paragraph editing. Let's look at B. B says, this innovation of Steve Jobs was important in its influence over. Well, this is all kinds of wrong, right? First of all, the idiom is influence on, not over. And this one, again, the subject is innovation. Well, specifically this innovation. They're using this demonstrative noun, this, right, as the subject, right? So by including all this stuff, this did this, which is wrong. Okay. What about this one? This one could be tricky because it starts again with Steve Jobs, except it's not, right? It has the apostrophe. Is it important? Is important the noun? No, it's not. Innovative, now this time is the adjective. Before it was a noun. The subject over here is actually influence. So by including light, touch, proximity, and all the stuff, influence was on contemporary technology. Makes no sense. You need a person. So you're left with D and E, and remember, SAT always gives you two answers that are very, very close. 3 are garbage, and you could probably eliminate them pretty quickly. So this one says, Steve Paul Jobs was influential. Good. This is awesome, right? By including, who included this? Steve Jobs, right? Was influential with his innovation over contemporary technology. Well, you probably noticed one thing because I mentioned before. It should be had an influence on, right? And that's what it says on the original sentence, right? It says that in the original sentence, so it can't be over. Another thing that's wrong with this sentence is they're making this extra, right? By putting comma, comma, okay? Which is not how it's stated in the original sentence. If you have a question about this, we're putting commas everywhere. I know commas could be very, very daunting, but they're actually really, really helpful and logical. So if you put comma, if you have questions on them, watch a positive lecture. I think it will really help you. Okay. So that is questionable over here because of the idiom and putting this extra. So you're really left with E. And E says the innovative Steve Jobs. Again, the subject over here is Jobs, right? And Jobs had an important influence on contemporary technology, which is modern technology, making E the answer. So innovative is modifying Steve Jobs, but this whole sentence by including, who's doing the including? Jobs is doing the including, right? So that's correct.